Hi everyone, doomNOTE here with my first ever YouTube video where I'd like to outline why I've fallen in love with the game Destiny 2 and whether you should give it a shot as well. I've developed a bit of a reputation convincing people to play games that I've gotten into myself, so I thought it would be good to record my thoughts and allow my mind control to have further reach and be more efficient.
Trust me.
I will preface everything by saying I have zero experience with Destiny 1 and only started playing Destiny 2 about 2 weeks before the release of the latest DLC, Shadowkeep. So this video is meant for those who have either never played Destiny before or only dabbled in Destiny 2 when it first came out and didn't stick around for long. So let's get into it. As you may have heard, Destiny 2 has recently parted ways with Blizzard Activision and has migrated over to Steam. The base game is now free to play, including the first 2 DLCs, Curse of Osiris and Warmind, and there's no chance of any of it ever hitting the Epic Game Store, so no need for any additional outrage. I found myself finally interested in the franchise after having played mostly Battle Royales for about 2 years straight, and the release of WoW Classic re-sparking my MMO itch. Now, I was never deep into WoW, and the top-down number key mashing style of combat in most MMOs was not my favorite. Nothing wrong with it, but first-person aiming and mobility is where I find the most enjoyment. This is where Destiny 2 grabbed my attention immediately in my first play session, as the shooting mechanics and mobility were some of the best I had ever experienced. I mean, triple jumps, revolvers with explosive rounds, and bow and arrow one-hit kills? The hunter main in me immediately regretted having missed out on the franchise for so long, and I was immediately hooked. Here's a breakdown of the main aspects of the game that I think make it great. Number 1, gunplay and mobility. As I just stated, the weapon mechanics and the feel of shooting in this game is top-notch. From the wide array of weapons to the awesomely unique skins to the sounds, it all feels great. Comboing that with smooth movement and jumping mechanics makes combat super enjoyable and fast-paced. Number 2, graphics and optimization. In short, this game is beautiful. The worlds feel massive, and many times I would find myself stopping to just look up and around and enjoy the visual masterpiece Bungie had created. But with that, it runs extremely smoothly, and FPS has never been an issue, on maximum settings. Obviously, this will depend on your hardware setup, but on decent gear, it runs like a dream. Number 3, the amount of things to do. Further in this series, I'll be making a specific video for the various activities and game modes that exist within Destiny 2, but the main point is that there is so much to do. Outside of the fairly quick campaign, which is really more of an intro to the game mechanics, there are countless missions and quests, 6-person raids, 3-person dungeons, which are like mini-raids, wave-type activities where you fight increasingly more difficult waves of enemies, a competitive-type PvPvE game mode, and a full-on PvP game mode. Granted, for most of the PvE stuff, the gameplay loop is the same: go here, kill everything, get the loot. But Destiny 2 does a great job of making every mission feel unique, with great voice acting and an amazing story behind it all. And that brings us to number 4, the lore. If you're the kind of guy who always skips cutscenes and doesn't really care about the story, then this won't matter to you at all. But if you are into a good story, Destiny goes deep. Destiny 1 and 2 actually pick up fairly far into the overarching story that is the Destiny universe, but getting into the lore has caused me to connect with the game even more. I highly recommend checking out the complete history video by My Name is Bife, linked below in the description if you're interested in getting into the story. It's worth it. And lastly, the raid experience. As of this video, I've only completed the first raid released for Destiny 2, known as Leviathan, but it was so much more fun than I expected. I assumed it was going to just be a giant boss battle with difficult enemies to fight along the way, but it was so much more. There was a huge puzzle component, and it required intricate teamwork from all 6 members of our raid team. Any one person could end our progress and cause us to have to start the encounter all over again. This made it very exciting for everyone and wasn't just about shooting everything as fast as possible. Embarrassingly, my first raid took about 7 hours over the course of 2 days, and that was with assistance from some very helpful guides. So, now that I sound like a paid shill for Bungie, I will say that I'm sure I'll discover the bugs eventually, or the things that the community at large is upset about that need to be changed, or we'll all start a mass boycott. But with the recent move out from Activision and the roadmap outlined by Bungie, it seems like the game is headed in a great direction, and I'm excited about what's to come. They've explicitly stated that they want to move the game into more of an MMO direction, where the world evolves as us players play it, and where our decisions and activities will have a direct impact on that process. So, if any of this sounds like fun to you, I highly recommend giving it a try. It's free to play now, so you've got nothing to lose. And if you do plan on trying it out, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for my next videos, which will explain some of the specific aspects of the game, how they work, and what you can expect from them. Thanks so much for watching. You can find me every night at twitch.tv/doomNOTE at 10 p.m. Pacific, or join the Discord at discord.me/doomNOTE. Come on by, join up, and let's commit some mass alien genocide together.